Sometimes the best moments in cinema aren't scripted, they're accidents, a forgotten line, a sudden laugh, a stumble that turns into pure magic. Today, we're diving into those rare, unplanned moments when actors messed up their lines, yet somehow made the entire scene unforgettable. Number 10. When Jim Carrey stepped into the role of Count Olaf in Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, he didn't just play a villain, he embodied one. In the scene where Olaf meets the orphans, his cold reaction to the news of their parents' death fell flat at first. So what did Carrey do? He stopped, in character, and demanded another take, just as a narcissistic actor like Olaf would. The truth? That wasn't in the script. It was Jim Carrey himself fumbling the line but refusing to break character. The filmmakers loved it so much they kept it in. It's a moment that blurs the line between actor and character, leaving us to wonder, where does Jim Carrey end and Count Olaf begin? Number 9. In A Knight's Tale, Heath Ledger brought the 14th century jousting world to life with a modern twist. Filmed in the Czech Republic, the production often relied on locals as extras to fill the cheering crowds. But when Paul Bettany's Geoffrey Chaucer introduced Ledger's character to the arena, something unexpected happened. The crowd stayed silent. No cheers, no excitement. Whether they missed the cue, forgot it, or simply didn't understand, the moment fell flat. And then came the save. Mark Addy, playing William's loyal friend, instantly improvised, reminding the extras in character that this was their moment to roar. The crowd finally erupted, and what could have been an awkward failure turned into comedy gold. It's a reminder that sometimes the best scenes aren't written, they're born from chaos. Number 8. Barry Levinson's Diner isn't about epic battles or grand adventures. It's about friends sitting in a Baltimore diner, talking about nothing and everything. But that nothing became something extraordinary. The film embraced messy, overlapping dialogue, unfinished lines, and raw improvisation. Instead of polished Hollywood exchanges, we got conversations that felt real, like we were sitting right there at the table. In one scene, Steve Guttenberg's character calls out Mickey Rourke's Mordell over a gambling loss. The back and forth gets chaotic, lines are fumbled, jokes slip, and for a brief moment the actors seemed to drop character. Yet the cameras kept rolling. That mistake stayed in the final cut. And it worked. The awkward stumbles, the laughter, the natural rhythm of friends arguing, it all made the film more authentic. It's proof that sometimes imperfection isn't a flaw. It's the magic that makes us believe. Number 7. Few scenes in cinema are as iconic or as intimate as the one in Titanic where Rose asks Jack to paint her like one of his French girls. The tension in the room is palpable, every word heavy with unspoken desire. But then came an unscripted slip. As Jack gently instructed Rose to take her place, Leonardo DiCaprio accidentally said, "the bed," when he was supposed to say, "the couch." A tiny mistake. That revealed far more than it should. It was a Freudian slip so perfect it almost felt written. For a brief moment, Jack's calm confidence vanished, replaced with the awkwardness of a young man overwhelmed by the situation. Director James Cameron could have cut it. Instead, he left it in, and that one stumble added just the right touch of humor, humanity, and honesty to an already unforgettable scene. Sometimes it's the imperfections that make a masterpiece timeless. Number 6. In Roman Polanski's Chinatown, Jack Nicholson's Jake Gitters faces off against the sinister Noah Cross, a wealthy man whose menace comes not from shouting, but from the quiet cruelty of power. And yet there's a curious detail. Cross never calls him Mr. Gitters. Instead, he repeatedly mispronounces his name as Mr. Gitz. Why? In reality, legendary filmmaker John Huston, who played Cross, simply couldn't remember the correct pronunciation, but Polanski decided to leave it in. The result is fascinating. Was Cross too powerful to care about getting someone's name right? Or was it a deliberate display of disrespect, a subtle reminder of who truly holds control? That tiny mistake added another layer of unease to a character already dripping with menace. In Chinatown, even the way your name is spoken can become a weapon. Number 5. Judgment at Nuremberg is one of cinema's most powerful courtroom dramas, bringing the horrors of Nazi war crimes into sharp focus. Among its many unforgettable moments is the testimony of Rudolf Peterson, played by Montgomery Clift. Peterson is a man forcibly sterilized by the regime. His words are halting, fragmented, struggling to recall, struggling to explain. And that wasn't just acting. Clift, scarred physically and emotionally from a devastating car accident and battling addiction, found it nearly impossible to memorize his lines. But director Stanley Kramer didn't see weakness, he saw truth. He let Clift stumble, hesitate, and search for words, because that raw vulnerability was the character. The result was hauntingly real. Clift wasn't delivering a polished performance, he was living inside the trauma. That broken testimony earned him an Oscar nomination and cemented the scene as one of the most gut-wrenching portrayals of suffering ever put on film. Sometimes imperfection doesn't break the illusion, it shatters us with honesty. Number 4. Sometimes the funniest moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe aren't scripted, they're happy accidents. In Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, veteran actor Ruben Rabasa played a small but memorable role as a barista serving Paul Rudd's Scott Lang. His line was simple, "Thank Ant-Man for saving the city." But in the heat of the moment, Rabasa completely blanked. He didn't just forget his line, he forgot the hero. Instead of Ant-Man, he blurted out, "Thank you, Spider-Man." Paul Rudd's reaction was priceless. His shoulders slumped, his ego crushed, as if even his own city couldn't remember who he was. The beauty of it. That slip-up fit the MCU's playful, ironic tone so perfectly that it felt like it had to be written that way. But it wasn't. It was pure accident, and pure comedy gold. Number 3. Sometimes the funniest lines are born out of sheer panic. In the smash hit rom-com, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Andrea Martin plays Aunt Vula, the loud, overbearing, but endlessly lovable relative who always steals the spotlight. Her character is already hilarious, famously misunderstanding vegetarianism with the line, "You don't eat no meat? That's okay. I make lamb." But one scene gave us comedy gold by pure accident. Martin was supposed to deliver her lines to John Corbett, but she blanked, totally forgot them. Instead of freezing, she stayed in character, raised her hand, and blurted out the first thing that came to mind. "Let me touch your hair." It was so perfectly awkward, so authentically funny that the filmmakers kept it in the movie. And just like that, a forgotten line turned into an unforgettable moment. Number 2. When it comes to unforgettable monologues, Quentin Tarantino knows how to deliver. In Pulp Fiction, Christopher Walken's cameo is short but legendary. His character tells a young boy the bizarre, tragic, and darkly funny story of a gold watch that survived a war, a prison camp, and some very questionable hiding places. But here's the twist. While performing, Walken actually blanks out twice. His eyes go distant, as if he's lost in the trauma of the tale. Was he really forgetting his lines, or brilliantly channeling a shell-shocked soldier? No one knows for sure. What we do know is that those pauses made the scene even more haunting, turning an already strange speech into one of cinema's most iconic moments. Number 1. Sometimes the funniest movie moments aren't even scripted. In Zoolander, Ben Stiller perfected the role of Derek Zoolander, handsome, vain, and hilariously clueless. But one of his most iconic lines was actually a mistake. During a scene where David Duchovny explains a wild conspiracy about male models, Stiller completely forgets his line. Instead of breaking character, he just repeats, "But why male models?" The timing was so perfect, and Duchovny's deadpan comeback so sharp that they left it in the film. What started as a slip-up became comedy gold, cementing Zoolander as one of the most quotable comedies of its time.